What's going on, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'm gonna jump right into this one. I want to ask everybody a question, okay? And if you come in here, you can leave your comments. If not, and if you see this video, um, you're welcome to express your opinions as well. It's very validated. But I want to ask people if they feel like Jamal Murray is going to bounce back and be the player that he was and come back even better. Um, you know, I want people to understand that when it comes to a player like Jamal Murray, he's enjoyable to watch because Jamal Murray, man, is one of those type of players that he just has a very ferocious mentality. He doesn't back down from anybody. Uh, I think I've even referenced Kobe Bryant in his game, not in terms of skill set or fundamentals or any of that. But I'm just talking about his approach and his mentality and his fire, the fire that he has in his belly. Um, you know, but the Nuggets have pretty much done better than what people expected without the services of him and without the services of Michael Porter Jr. Uh, it was said that Murray had participated in a workout this yesterday, and he was getting up shots. And now there's a report coming out that are saying that all options are on the table regarding him coming back. Now we got we got to understand, okay? It would be very stupid for them to try to work him back into the rotation with the season winding down. Now, I want to give a shout out to Raw for TV, okay? Um, because he mentioned something that was very important in regards to Klay Thompson, uh, and as well as Steve Kerr, okay? And it has something to do with what could possibly take place if it took place. If you bring back Jamal Murray at a time like this, during this point of the season, okay, you will run the risk of doing more harm to your team than good, okay? The reason why I mention that is because Klay Thompson has come back, and the reason why, I shout out to brother Two Rods because he has stated that with Klay Thompson, he's he's being rushed back by the staff, by Steve Kerr, which I've been very vocal about, and I'll stand on it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't like the way they have brought along Klay Thompson, trying to rush him back. Then on top of that, a lot of people have been saying. I know there's some people that's been in the comments and have been vocal about this as well. They have stated that the reason why the Golden State Warriors have been struggling, aside from injuries and um, Draymond, not being 100%, and uh, you know Steph being out of the lineup, and Clay not being 100% too as well, trying to get back to what he was. It has to do with, I guess, other guys are feeling some type of way because of the fact that Clay is back now, and they felt like, okay, well now I'm having to take a back seat, and you could see it in the play. You could see some of these guys are like, okay, well, Clay is not, he's obviously not 100%. And I also mentioned Clay because of the fact that he has the ACL. Well, that's the same thing that could potentially happen with a guy like Jamal Murray, in which the Nuggets, I mean, they're not doing bad at all. They're actually doing better than what some people had hoped that they would do, considering the fact that him and Michael Porter Jr. is not there. And on top of that, you got Jokic, that in many people's eyes can say that he's the MVP. I think right now, if we're doing if we really had to choose, by the day, is you got to look at a guy like Jokic, and you also have to look at Giannis. And I'm not taking anything away from anybody else. I'm just looking at that. And some people are arguing even, Luca, because of how the Mavericks started off, and then, they've catapulted. And then on top of that, some people have even stated a guy like, Tatum, but, you know, that right there, that's neither here nor there. I'm not mentioning Embiid either because I'm not going to even go down that road. But that's a whole nother story. They're fifth in the division. Okay, I'm sorry about that, in the conference, and they pretty much have a better than good record than what people would have liked them to have. So a guy like Jamal Murray coming back, or even a Michael Porter Jr. Coming back, like Mike Malone, which I have not been a fan of. I'm not a big fan of Mike Malone. I think he's not he's just not my favorite coach in the world. But he did have a good point. He said, "quote If Jamal Murray says to me, 'Hey, coach, I'm ready, man, I like to play,' and he's been cleared, then we'd figure it out. I think like anybody coming back, there are going to be good days, there are going to be great days, and there are some tough days. I think it's kind of what he's been dealing with probably the last month. He's been ramped up a little bit, and certain days I'm sure he feels great, and then the next day he might feel like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, now that's the point that I understand. Now where I disagree with Mike Malone is if you would try to work him into the lineup, you know, because he said it would be a weird time to try to work him into the lineup, and said that you don't want to put any pressure on on Jamal Murray just so that you can go ahead and try to get a win and all this other stuff. And me myself, I'm not with tanking either. What's up with it, True Viking? I see you in the building. I'm not with taking tanking games either. Okay. I don't believe in that. Despite what some people may feel, I feel like you ride it out. There's been some people that have been like, you know what, the Nuggets should tank and all this other stuff. No, why not? Why would you tank? You know, but do I believe that Jamal Murray is going to bounce back? I believe that he can. He has a fire in his belly that's just different. Plus, he's still young, um, and it's seeming like he wants to get out there. But what I would do, like I've said about Kawhi Leonard, I even said this about Paul George once upon a time, but he came back, and I think who am I missing? Michael. What I've said about Michael Porter Jr. and some of these other guys that are, consistently hurt and stuff, of course, Ben Simmons and stuff. Why come back? You're doing more harm than good. Even in a case like, James Wiseman. Hell, some people might even argue a guy like, Robert Williams III, but, Robert Williams III, he's got a 4 to 6 week timetable. so after the torn meniscus. But I think that he's going to come back. I think that Jamal Murray will be better than ever. And as I've stated, man, this has to be and AD too. I'm like, why even come back if you're gonna get hurt? It would be stupid if you came back. I forgot about AD too. It'd be stupid if you come back, and it was stupid for him to come back last year. So I forgot about that. But I mean, y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications. Polo Sports Stock and Entertainment. I'll get at you later.